Welcome to the Bookmark channel. Let me start with a simple question. What is the highest good, the most worthwhile thing in life? If you only had one life to live, what would truly matter most? Today we're looking at Love, The Greatest Thing in the World by Henry Drummond. This timeless book shows why love is the most powerful and meaningful force in life. Drummond reminds us that love isn't just a feeling. It's a way of living that shapes our actions, character, and relationships. His message is deep but simple and relatable. The book is based on 1 Corinthians 13, which explains what love is and isn't, while comparing it to values like faith, knowledge, and power. Instead of rules or complicated theology, Drummond focuses on character and how love works in everyday life. Many people think faith is most important, but Drummond explains that love is greater. Faith helps us find God, but God is love. Faith is the path. Love is the goal. Love is also bigger than charity. It includes kindness, patience, and care in every part of life. Love doesn't replace other values. It completes them. That's why Drummond calls love the greatest of all. Like a beam of light passing through a prism and breaking into different colors, love can be understood as a spectrum made up of 9 ingredients. First, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 tells us that love is patient. Love waits for others without holding resentment, especially when we feel offended. Offense often comes when we feel disrespected, misunderstood, or treated unfairly, whether it was meant that way or not. Maybe someone jokes about something you care about, dismisses your opinion, or interrupts you repeatedly. As Drummond wrote, love suffers long, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things. For love understands, and therefore waits. Being slow to take offense is a blessing. Nehemiah 8 verse 10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." When our joy comes from God, offenses have less power over us. We don't need to lash out or hold grudges. That inner joy helps us respond with patience, grace, and forgiveness. A joyful heart is harder to offend and quicker to forgive. Second, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 tells us that love is kind. Drummond points to Jesus as the perfect example of kindness, someone who consistently did good for the people around him, whether they were rich or poor, without calculation or delay. This kind of love goes far beyond simple politeness. Third, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 tells us that love does not envy. Drummond encourages us not to hold ill will toward those who walk alongside us but seem to be doing better than we are, especially in Christian service. When envy takes root, the true purpose of serving God is lost. Instead, we are called to be generous in spirit, not envious of others. We should learn to rejoice in someone else's success and remain content with what we have. Fourth, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 reminds us that love does not boast and is not proud or arrogant. Boasting is really just self-promotion, whether we do it openly or in subtle ways. Love chooses to stop promoting itself and instead focuses on praising God and encouraging others. This doesn't mean putting yourself down or thinking poorly of yourself. As C.S. Lewis wisely said, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. The book describes humility as love hiding, which fits perfectly with what Jesus teaches in Matthew 6 verse 3. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Fifth, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 reminds us that love does not dishonor others. The book describes this as love in society, or love in relation to etiquette. When someone knows how to behave with respect, consideration, and good manners, they can interact well with others in any situation, social, professional, or otherwise. Drummond described a person who lives this way as a gentleman. Sixth, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 tells us that love is not self-seeking. Most people agree that it is not wrong to know or protect their rights, and that makes sense. However, from a biblical perspective, love teaches us to hold our rights lightly. The book explains that it may be easier to give up our rights than to always insist on them. Jesus showed us this perfectly by giving up his rights for the sake of others. Because of this, seeking our own rights becomes wrong when it is driven by pride, selfishness, or a lack of love. But it can be right when it is done humbly, wisely, and for justice, peace, or the good of others, not just for ourselves. 7th, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 tells us that love is not easily angered. According to the book, a bad temper is not a small or harmless weakness. It is a serious character flaw. It harms not only the person who is angry, but also everyone around them. Drummond uses the story of the prodigal son to make this point. When the younger son returned home broken and repentant, the father welcomed him with joy. But the older brother was angry and refused to celebrate. His anger revealed a lack of love, even though he had done everything right. Drummond wrote, "No form of vice does more to unchristianize society than evil temper." He explains that harsh and angry attitudes often drive people away instead of drawing them toward grace. Ill temper is fueled by jealousy, pride, lack of compassion, cruelty, and self-righteousness. When anger is stored up and left unchecked, it can eventually explode. We even see this today in repeated shootings in schools, workplaces, and public spaces, often carried out not by hardened criminals, but by deeply angry and loveless hearts. This is why love that is slow to anger truly matters. 8th, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 tells us that love keeps no record of wrongs. A guileless person doesn't keep a mental scorecard or quietly collect offenses. There's no hidden agenda, bitterness, or plan to get even later. When someone hurts them, they address it honestly and then choose to let it go. That's what it really means to keep no record of wrongs. When love is guileless, it forgives freely, moves forward sincerely, and doesn't bring up the past to gain control or make a point. In this way, a guileless heart is a forgiving heart, one that truly keeps no record of wrongs. 9th, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 6 tells us that love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. When love is sincere, it doesn't take pleasure in wrongdoing. Instead, it finds joy in honesty, goodness, and truth. A sincere person celebrates the truth, not just what they've been told to believe, as the book points out, but what is actually real. Because of this, they are willing to search for the truth with a humble heart and hold on to it, even when it's difficult or costly. To sum it all up, 1 Corinthians 13, and the insights from this book, point us to a selfless kind of love known by the Greek word agape. This is the love God shows to humanity, and it's the same kind of love believers are called to show to others. 1 Corinthians 13 is often read at weddings, but learning how to love is really a lifelong journey. In my opinion, it's something worth revisiting regularly, whether as a daily devotion or a yearly reminder. Drummond puts it beautifully. The world is not a playground, it is a schoolroom. Life is not a holiday but an education. And the one eternal lesson for us all is how better we can love. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep exploring the next topic with us here on Bookmark.